Hello all, welcome to Mountain Aromatics. Today I'm going to go over some questions. I had probably, I think 3 different people that have asked different questions, and so that is what I'm going to tackle today. As you can see, I have 5 things in front of me, and I will go over those. I bet you the first person in this is Roxana. She's laughing right now, I bet you. Here we go. So on my last live show, we did a formula together, and if you want this formula, just head over to my last live show, and that will be on there. Hilarious, but I did not smell the aroma in the live show. I was, I guess, distracted and talked about too many things and that kind of stuff. So anyway, it turned out way better than I thought it was going to. I really, really like it a lot. It's complex and it is unisex. So this is for anyone. Of course, if you're watching this, you know that all fragrances are for everyone. It's just what the individual particularly likes. So, but this could be in a department store and under unisex. In America, people really care about that stuff. I don't, and probably none of you do either. But I really enjoy it. If you want that formula, head over to the other one after this one, and you can get that formulation. So the first thing I'm going to, in no particular order, but I had a question about Javanol, or one of the listeners had a question about Javanol, and they asked about Javanol being in molecule 4. And as you probably know, it's pretty rare that I go to the department stores and smell the different fragrances and that kind of stuff. So actually, I know nothing about molecule number 4, but he said that his understanding that molecule 4 is completely Javanol. And so he was wondering, the Javanol that we are privy to, is that the Javanol that is in molecule 4, or is it a captive molecule? A captive, sorry, it's my dog and I'm live. So a captive molecule is a molecule that, let's say, IFF, International Flavors and Fragrances, that they have, and they're the only ones who have it, and they do not sell it, and it's just only for them. And so he was wondering, is there a Javanol that's captive and this Javanol both, and this one is less potent? Well, number one, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. But number 2 is, this is 400 hours on the test strip. However, Javanol, number 1, is expensive, but it is very long lasting. And this is another one that is detectable, but almost difficult to detect. It reminds me of Isobornyl Supra. Not in the aroma. This is a sandalwood with a very, very creamy sandalwood, but it reminds me of Isobornyl Supra in the fact that it's not very aromatic and diffusive. It's not, but it's, I had another molecule the other day that I talked about. This is a molecule that's solid and stable over time. This is how Javanol is. So it's not like bright and a top note. It's definitely a base note, but it's not a base note that is just rock solid and hard and heavy and just sits there and is really strong. That is not what this is. This is just a solid aroma that is very, very consistent for a very long period of time. I absolutely could see wearing this alone. Absolutely. I love Javanol. The only problem is that it's a little expensive, but my understanding with Molecule 4 is that it's over the top expensive when you buy it off the shelf. Over the top expensive. That's why we do what we do, right? You make your own and you get to be creative. I get to be creative. So this is a perfect sandalwood. This molecule is on the cutting edge of all the sandalwoods. So this is a new generation of molecules. This also is crazy amazing with its longevity on materials. Crazy longevity on materials. And that's the other part of this that makes it exceptional. Just incredibly creamy. It just smells like the creamy, almost sweet, just a tiny bit of sweetness in there of a sandalwood. Very clean, very sophisticated. I can't even say more better things about it. I absolutely love it. It is one of those that you want to get. You may have to save and save in order to get it, but it's worth it. It really is. And so I hope I was helpful with the Javanol. To the side, number 2, Cyclo myral. So Cyclo myral, to be specific, it's Cyclo myral PFW, and it is a airy, bright, think mountain air, a tiny bit of green way in the background. This, to me, probably is the cleanest air material out there that I have. Let me give you an example of kind of what I'm talking about. So another very ozone airy material is Azuril. I don't know how to say it. Oh, I get frustrated. Azuril. This one is the Ozone Citrus Fresh Clean Linen Marine. That's what I'm talking about. So this, yes, it's very ozone airy, but it has the marine ocean aroma in the background as well as citrus. So to me, this is useful in certain situations when you need a bright, clean, fresh air. But this one, the Cyclo myral, is way clean, way simple, way more forgiving for any type of fragrance that you want to create. It is more clean air, mountain air, and simply put that way. So in that case, in that mindset, it is just one of the cleanest things you can use to create your air. Okay, another one. I was gonna like make this video like really short, but anyway. So another one is Vernaldehyde by Javanol. It's 116 hours on the test strip. It's a top and middle note, and its average use is 5. This one is a natural green, fresh, aldehydic mountain air. How is it different than the one I just went over, than the Cyclo myral? This has a tiny bit of that classic aldehydic aroma. I will not put it in the aldehydic category. I would not. But it has a little bit of that in the background and has a little bit of green in the background. And so it does, I mean, it is mountain air and it's very airy. It just, when you compare the two, this has a little bit of aldehydic note in it. So just take that into consideration. So that is your Cyclo myral. Or yeah, Cyclo myral. CYCLO PFW. An easy way, if you go to creatingperfume.com, just type in PFW, and you'll go straight to it instead of typing out cyclohexanol. So the next one I have is Aldehyde Supra. You want to, I'm going to change that. You need to put that at a 1%. You need to use that at a 1%. And in fact, that is for the people who use their materials at 100%. So you can cut this down even more, maybe a 0.05%. And that would be a great one for you guys who are all your materials are at a 20%. Because there are a lot of you out there who are using, all my stuff is at 20%. Then this one is so strong, it's your classic aldehyde, where you probably want to use it at a 0.05% solution. This one, like I said, is a classic aldehyde, and where I'll just go over the stuff. It's 78 hours on the test strip. All your classic aldehydes are going to give lift and projection. Yeah, they're going to give projection, so that aroma is going to go far away and out. And definitely people around you are going to smell your fragrance. This one is citrusy floral. I get mandarin, like orange. So when I say citrus, it's definitely more on the orange mandarin side than it is lemon or lime, or grapefruit or whatever else. This is more of an orange. And then there is floral. To me, the mandarin stands out and is out front, and then just right behind it is some floral. So it's not 50-50 mandarin floral. It's probably 70% mandarin and 30% floral. This is used a lot in your florals to, again, give lift and projection. And this is one of those materials. To me, all the aldehydes can be, when I say difficult to work with, I think you need to play with them to learn the materials. This is one of those materials that can take time to learn. You can do it. You just have to play with it. And if you have to dilute it to that percentage, you can use tons of it. It's not that big of a deal. So use it and play with it. The first thing, I feel like I always tell you guys this, but I think the first thing you can do is make a formula, make 2 of them, and in one of them, use this and wait a couple of weeks and then come back to it. And smell the difference. Put it on a test strip and smell the difference. That is one way you'll learn this material. You'll see what it does to your formula. You'll see like the projection, the lifting aspect to it, and you'll be able to detect the aroma difference in your two formulas. That's the best way to do that. That's all I can tell you. You have to play with this material. Some materials are really easy and you barely even have to play with them to learn the materials. This is one, all the aldehydes to me are a learning curve. It takes a little time, and the best rule of thumb is to use a tiny, minute amount. Not like 1, 2, 3 drops. No, start with 1 and at a very, very low dose, because it just does not take much. And that is Aldehyde Supra. The next one I'm going to go over is, I just simply write on here IBCH. It's Isobornyl cyclohexanol. Hexanol. Yeah, hexanol. I'll say it again. Isobornyl cyclohexanol. That's 3 words, so there's no other thing that is IBCH. So I just write it in big letters on here. This is one of those, it's so thick. See, the top thing stays on it. It's crazy. I don't know how you can see it, but you can probably see it there. It's just a stringy. And I could probably sit here for 3 or 4 minutes with it upside down. It is just incredibly thick that I use a toothpick. I use a toothpick to go in here and stir around. I don't know if you can kind of see my toothpick. It's just super thick, and I have to twirl it to get all of it on there. There you go. And it's just super, super thick. And so when I use this, it is a very, very soft amber. A lot of you are going to go, I don't smell a thing. But I'll tell you, the reason you use it, it's a fixative. There you go. Which leads me, so wait, before I forget. So the first thing I do is when I have a formula that I'm using this in it, I will take my, whatever I'm using, and I will put this on the side and get it in there and use this first. This is the first material I will use, because I want to stick this in there and get it off, and it's going to stick to the side, and you're going to have to shake for a long time. But it's good and it's worth it. It's pretty nice. But it's one of those, well, it will not affect the aroma of your fragrance of your formula. It just will not. You're not going to be able to tell a big difference at all. Yeah. I'll be honest, I don't get anything. I just don't get anything. But I love it. That leads me to, I had, can you get it at a workable texture? This is at 100%, so I'm going to tell you, you can, here's the easiest thing to do. This material is hard to work with. Order it at 50%. You can, if you're like me, I'm like, I don't care if stuff is difficult, because I'm like, yay, I'll get to learn. So I would take it at 100% and warm it up, and then get your scale and weigh it out however many grams, and then 50%, and then 50% either IPM or alcohol or whatever you, perfume use alcohol, whatever you use. And so you get a 50-50 by weight in grams. And That's what I would do. It's just going to be difficult. It's not easy because this one, I think, I could be wrong. This is the thickest material I've ever used. So that's what I would do. Yeah, that leads me to, I had another viewer who asked me about the percentages of fixatives and IPM in a formula. Like, basically what he was saying is, what percentages of fixatives do I need to use in a formula? Well, there's absolutely no set amount. And in fact, you technically don't have to use fixatives in a formula. Let me give you an example. You could have a formula that is pure citruses. So typically like essential oils, and there's no fixative in there. But you can also have a formula with those same citruses and add patchouli or clearwood. And those are bases that will be a fixative and help it last a little bit longer. Although you still have to understand that those citruses, those molecules are volatile oils, meaning they will dissipate. If the top is left off, they will dissipate. I'll give you an oil that is not a volatile oil. If you have a bottle of olive oil and you take the cap off, all of it will be there 6 months from now. It will not dissipate. So that's the meaning of a volatile oil. Take the cap off and it will dissipate out, and then a week later it will be down to here and you will have lost some of it will evaporate. So back to fixatives. You can also have a fragrance formula where every single thing, Roxana and I do this sometimes, our entire formula is just, every one of them is a base. Every material we put in there happens to be a base, and we like that. And we don't make that formula because a lot of those are fixatives. It's just, we make that formula that way because we like those aromas and we like those materials together. So it's just for a formula reason. But you can also, so the bottom line is you don't have, guys, they're going to act up because I'm going live. You don't have to have there's no set amount of a fixative that you have to put or that you want to put or that you need to put in a formula. There just isn't. But like, I created a warm Aromatics accord. So this accord is specifically made to be a fixative, and it is slightly warm in aroma. It's not a strong aroma at all, but there is some warmth that's there. But its purpose is to be a fixative. So you can use this with any formula, just knowing that if you put it with a very, very bright, let's just say floral, citrusy, it's going to give a little bit of warmth to it. That's all. There are, to me, specific materials that can be used as a fixative. For example, Fixature 505, that's the name of the material. That is a material, number one, it's expensive, and number two, there's almost no, of course I have it right here. There's almost no aroma. I mean, there is, it's a little bit of ambergris, It is very powerful. It's dry. It has a tiny bit of that frankincense sparkle. So if you know what I'm talking about with that frankincense sparkle, if you don't know what I'm talking about, get your frankincense and smell it, and you'll smell that bright sparkle in there. It has a little bit of that in here. But this, to me, there are times I use this as a fixative when I do not want to change the aroma of my formula. Especially if it's kind of a darker, heavier formula, you will not know it's in there at all. But it can be used as a fixative. Patchouli, vetiver, those are just going to be fixatives. I'm trying to think what else. Herculin D, that is a go-to fixative. Herculin D is very like resinous almost. And again, that's one of those that is just super thick. When you first get it, you will not be able to stick your dropper in there. You just will not. You will not be able to stick your dropper in there. It's just too thick. Until when it gets a little further down, then you'll be able to stick your dropper in there. But this one is a very mild, little bit of warmth, amber, but in to me is a material that is just a fixative, and it's not that expensive either. But it could be your go-to fixative, but like my warm Aromafix Accord, it is incredibly complex, and I just wanted to combine a number of fixatives together to be really powerful and really be a strong fixative where that is its purpose and its intent is to be a fixative. So I hope that is helpful. And one other thing, stop. I'm just getting this one now. Hold on. Hi, Dave. Newbie hobby perfumer here. Where are some good places to buy essential oils? Thanks in advance. So I would say somebody might have already answered your question. I would say for essential oils and a number of naturals where there is a huge assortment of naturals, meaning essential oils, absolutes, and CO2s, is Eden Botanicals. Eden Botanicals, they have a pretty vast assortment of naturals, essential oils. There are some on creating perfume as well, and as well as White Lotus Aromatics. So White Lotus Aromatics and Eden Botanicals are going to have some rare oils as well. Very expensive, but rare. Perfumers Alcohol is a one-shop place. It's one place, creatingperfume.com. Absolutely. And yeah, let's see. The other thing I wanted to tell you about, and maybe a vast majority of you will not be interested in at all, and that's okay. But there may be people out there who are like, why didn't you tell me? I'm interested, so I'm going to tell you. I have a brand new channel called Believe, and it is completely different than this. It has nothing to do with this, but it is about trauma, complex PTSD, sexual abuse, and grief. And it is a place, a safe place, where I discuss those issues, and I also do some educational stuff, and then people have questions and I will answer those. And it's just a place of information. And I will put a link, because I don't know how to tell you to find that channel, because I have tried to put that in there and it just doesn't come up. So I will put a link to my Believe channel below in the show notes. So those of you who are interested, you are welcome to head over there. And I have 2 videos up so far. And just please subscribe. Also, for all of you, this channel and the other channel, when you subscribe, there'll be a little icon right next to that subscribe button. And it is a button where if you click it, it will give you notifications when I go live. Like on your phone, it will give you a notification immediately as soon as I go live, so you don't miss it. So that's for this channel and the Believe channel. So I appreciate you guys. I said this was going to be a little bit shorter. It's already 30 minutes. So thank you so much for joining me, and I appreciate it. My kids are going to just disrupt me constantly. But thank you. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you on the next Mountain Aromatics. Have a good day.